Attention passionate Chicago, Bears fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Chicago Bears' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Chicago Bears fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Chicago Bears fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. You know I always like to bring you the freshest, most impactful updates, and this time the NFL landscape is buzzing with some seismic shifts, especially involving the Las Vegas Raiders and, more intriguingly, the Chicago Bears. It's a story that has fans on both sides of the division talking, and it's not just idle speculation anymore. Rumors are swirling, and the details are starting to look more concrete, especially with some insider information that's coming straight from the NFL's rumor mill. And trust me, what's happening right now could redefine how the Bears approach their future, especially on the defensive front. Let's start with the Raiders, because what's happening there might seem like just another rebuild, but the implications for the Bears are huge. The Raiders, currently sitting at a dismal 2-6 record after 8 games, are facing not only a tough season but also a tough decision. Their pass rush has been, well, less than impressive, just 12 sacks in 8 games, which isn't nearly enough for a team that's supposed to be fighting to stay competitive. With a rebuild imminent, the Raiders are looking at their options, and one of the biggest rumors is that they're planning a major move involving their star edge rusher, Max Crosby. Now, why would they consider trading Crosby? Well, the reasoning is pretty straightforward from their perspective. First, the team's current cap situation isn't ideal. They could free up around $20 million by trading Crosby, which would give them some much-needed flexibility to improve other areas, especially the quarterback position. The Raiders are reportedly eyeing draft picks, specifically 2 first-rounders in the 2026 and 2027 drafts. This would be a bold reset move, aiming to build around new quarterback options and perhaps a new direction overall. The Raiders are also looking to gain draft capital to rebuild their offensive line, which has been a weak spot, allowing about 3/8 sacks per game, which is way too high for a team wanting to compete. What makes this even more intriguing is Crosby himself. The guy is a machine, an absolute force on the edge. He's not just a pass rusher, he's a game changer. Throughout his career, Crosby has amassed 68 sacks, 158 quarterback hits, and maintains an impressive PFF grade of 92.4. This year, up until September 15th, he's been putting up solid numbers, 10 sacks, 22 pressures, and a 31% win rate. His EPA per sack is 53, and he's been a key factor in the Bears' plans if this trade happens. At 28, Crosby's still in his prime, and his ability to disrupt offensive lines is unparalleled, especially when combined with his knack for forcing turnovers, with 14 forced fumbles over his career. His style of play is reminiscent of some of the best pass rushers in the league, and it's no wonder teams would want to bring him in. But here's the catch. Some skeptics believe that trading Crosby might be a reset button for the Raiders, similar to what the Panthers did last year, dumping vets to start fresh with younger talent. And that's where the Bears come into the picture. Because, folks, if Crosby were to land in Chicago, it could be a game changer. The Bears, right now, are sitting with about $6 million in available cap space, which isn't a ton but enough to make some strategic moves. They've been struggling with a pass rush that's inconsistent at best, despite having Montez Sweat, who's been solid with 8 sacks in 2025. But adding Crosby would elevate that entire defensive front, transforming it into a nightmare for opposing quarterbacks. Imagine what that would mean for the Bears. Crosby paired with Sweat, who's proven he can get after the quarterback, would project to produce a combined 20+ sacks, creating pressure that's almost impossible for any offensive line to contain. And this isn't just about sacks. It's about the entire defensive strategy. The Bears have been trying to get more pressure externally, especially along their front four. With the addition of Crosby, who excels in stunts and forcing turnovers, they could see their defense's impact skyrocket. In fact, their pressure numbers could increase by over 24%, leading to fewer explosive plays allowed, reducing the average yards per game allowed on the rush from 112 to around 88. That's a massive difference, especially when you consider how much teams rely on the run game to set up their pass. Furthermore, Crosby's presence would significantly improve the Bears' third down defense. Currently, they're allowing conversion rates around 60%, but with his ability to generate pressure and secure stops, That rate could drop to around 72% in favor of the Bears. That's a huge boost, especially considering how much the defense relies on third down stops to get off the field and give the offense more opportunities. It's also worth noting that Crosby's influence on the run defense would be crucial. He's a disruptive force against the run, reducing explosive plays and forcing teams into more predictable second and third downs, which Chicago could then capitalize on. Now you might wonder, what about the playoff implications? Well, if Crosby joins the Bears, the odds of them making a deep postseason run would skyrocket. Right now, the Bears are considered underdogs with +8-0 odds to win the Super Bowl, but with Crosby's addition, those odds could improve dramatically to around +3-0. His presence as a game-wrecking pass rusher elevates the entire team, especially in high-stakes moments. Imagine him going up against a quarterback like Jordan Love in the playoffs. The pressure he could generate would be game-changing. It's not just about sacks. It's about the intimidation factor and forcing turnovers at crucial moments. And it's not just about the here and now. This move could be a part of a long-term vision for the Bears. They're building a young, talented roster with players like Montez Sweat, and adding a veteran like Crosby could be the missing piece that pushes them over the edge. Think about a defense that combines elite pass rushing with a developing secondary and a competent offense led by Justin Fields. The potential is there to dominate the NFC, to hunt multiple titles, and finally, to bring that long-awaited Super Bowl trophy back to Chicago. The franchise, historically, has had moments of greatness. Richard Dent, for example, was a legendary figure who anchored their dominant defenses in the 1980s. Crosby could be that kind of player, a catalyst for a new era of Bears football. Of course, all of this hinges on the Raiders' decision. If they decide to pull the trigger, the landscape of the NFC North and the NFC playoff picture could change overnight. The Bears, with their current defensive struggles, would be wise to consider how a player of Crosby's caliber could transform their entire unit. It's a bold move, but in today's NFL, bold is often what separates the contenders from the pretenders. And if the Bears can land Crosby, it would be a statement to the league: we're here to compete, to dominate, and to chase that elusive Super Bowl once again. So fans, keep your eyes on this story. It's developing rapidly, and the implications are enormous. Will the Raiders actually trade Max Crosby? And more importantly, could he be wearing navy blue and orange soon? It's a question only time will answer. But one thing is for sure, the Chicago Bears are at a crossroads, and the addition of a player like Crosby could be the spark that ignites their resurgence. Stay tuned, because this story is just getting started. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Chicago Bears news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Chicago Bears fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential blockbuster move? Do you think the Bears should go all in for Crosby? How do you see him fitting into this young and talented roster? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion really matters to us and to the future of this team. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for all the latest Chicago Bears news, rumors, and analysis. This season is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in years, and with moves like these, the Bears might just be on the brink of something special. Thanks for sticking with me, and as always, bear down.